Okay. Before I even tell you what my name is, who I am, and who these lovely ladies here with me tonight to share about coaching, I have to take a second to share with you guys. That picture that I posted of the sunset, and I don't even know, it's almost gone. That's why I took the picture. I don't know if you guys can see the sunset there. I want you to know that you are a part of a vision of mine for 9 years. Right now, for 9 years that I've been a coach, I've been envisioning the day that my family and I could take off for an entire summer, pack up, go to a vacation home, and I could work my business from anywhere. Normally, I'd be either on my kitchen counter or my cheap IKEA desk doing this call with you guys. But today, and with you guys present today, I am doing it from a vacation home as the sun is setting in the Keys. Can you just take in that moment? Like, load up the chat right now and take in that moment, because I seriously, as I was thinking about it and I was taking a shower and I was blow drying my hair, I'm like, don't cry when you say it, don't cry. But this is right here, 9 years in the making. So thank you for being with us tonight. And I hope that as you, see, I got myself emotional. I hope that as you listen to tonight's call, because I was on a call just like this when I decided to sign up as a coach. And I remember coming into coaching and I couldn't see past my own nose. And I'm gonna tell you guys my story in a second. I was trying to just help myself at the moment. But I got on a call like this and I heard other powerful women and their testimony and their story. And they gave me a little bit of perspective on what was possible. And when I heard them, all of a sudden I got off that call and there was just one question I kept asking myself. Why not me? Why not me? Why not me? Why not me? Right? It went from like why, how, but what, to all the doubts, all the fears, all the like the things that were stopping me to F that. Why not me? And I put wheels into motion. So welcome to our call. This is Team Diesel Core that you're talking to tonight. My name is Monica Lopez. And tonight I have with me Amy Albarello, who's one of my ride or dies, been with me. Amy, how long have you been a coach? Because it feels like forever, but like you've been with me forever.
I've been a coach for 5. I've been a working coach for 4.
Okay, perfect. I knew it's been like quite a few years. And Amy, you're going to hear her perspective tonight, right? Amy's been in the business for 4 years. We call it working coaches because at first it was just for the discount. And you're going to hear about that as well. But she started working her business about 4 years ago. And Amy's on the brink of hitting a very big goal coming up in her business where she's going to be able to franchise herself. That means be able to like open up a brand new business center under her existing business center. Like all I have to say is just big, big stuff. So excited for you guys to hear from Amy, one of my veteranas on here. And then we also have Miani Eskenazi, who has actually been a coach for 1 month. Well, 1 month and like 2 weeks, right? Right there, almost 2 months. And Miani has a very interesting story. She said, oh my gosh, I know Miani longer than I know my husband. And my husband and I have been together for almost 18 years. Miani and I go way back, an old friend of mine. And so she's been my friend, but here she is now dabbling into the business. And what you're going to hearing from Miani is how powerful the why is behind her business and what she's been able to accomplish in just 1 month of her business because she came in with a crystal clear vision of what she needed and wanted for her family. So we've got some great stories here. And as you listen tonight, I hope that you listen with an open mind and open heart, like whatever it is that was holding you back. If the person that invited you today, by the way, thank them because I know it took guts but they saw something in you, whether in their challenge group or whether, things about you that they know that you could use this in your life or you'd be great at this in your life. It took a lot of guts for them to invite you, but thank them. But whoever invited you tonight, like if you were pulled into this or you were like, okay, no strings attached, I could just be a fly on the wall, do that tonight, but erase all the doubts, erase all the fears for just this less than 1 hour together that we're going to have, because I want you to walk away with the same question I did. Why not you? Why not you? And you're going to get to hear from 3 powerful women that are doing great things in their lives through this business, who the foundation of each of our businesses is first ourselves, right? Because you got to that's what I love about this business. You got to fill your own cup, take care of yourself first before you can pour out into your challenges, into your family, into your team, into all the areas of this business. So with that being said, welcome. Now, a little bit about my story. Like I said, I'm on I call it chapter 9 of this, right? 9 years in the making, I've been in this business. And for me personally, I started this business not being able to see past my own nose. I came in solely to get a discount on my Shakeology. I was that mom that felt like 5 watered down versions of herself. I had just had my second baby. I'm mom of 3 in total, but I had just had my second baby, and I was working as a paralegal. I never, with my first pregnancy or second pregnancy, I never had the ability to take maternity leave and be home with my babies. I was a C-section mom. As soon as my C-section would heal, I'd be right back on that metro rail, taking that 2-hour commute to downtown to go sit in my cubicle and work, because mama had to earn a paycheck, right? And I remember baby number 2, like I said, I was a paralegal, and there was this attorney whose office was like at the diagonal of mine. I sat in a corner, and she had a baby just 3 months before I did. So we both had bellies together. She popped first, and then I came back after I only got, I think it was 6 weeks total that I got off, and then I ended up coming back to the office, and here we were both on our postpartum journey. But it was her that I would watch. I'll never forget, turn that corner every single day. This short redheaded firecracker. Her name was Christina. And she would, like, by the day it felt like, start transforming, right? She had like this extra pep in her step. She was like losing the baby weight. She always came in with this shaker cup, right? And I kept saying to myself, I was actually like so bitter. I was so bitter because I had like these big old bags. I was coming in, like barely able to like keep myself awake, and she was thriving. And we were both in the same place in our lives. And that was her second baby as well. I'll never forget, I finally got the guts to just one day walk into her office. And I remember it was like so dramatic of me. I opened the door and I'm like, okay, I know you just had a baby too. Like, you know, we just went through the same thing. How are you doing that? And I look like this. Like, how are you accomplishing that? And I am barely surviving here. And guys, she said to me, oh, well, I'm doing these workouts. They're called, and back then she was doing Insanity Asylum with Sean T. And I'm drinking this Shakeology. And I was like, I remember listening and be like, oh, okay. Closing the door, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, right? Because I had grown up on seeing Paula Abdul DVDs, and my mom doing like Paula's like YMCA in the living room. And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing those home workouts. That's a joke. And I'm like, and I'm not going to starve myself and drink all these shakes a day like I see people do, like the Slim Fast and shit. Like, that's not going to work for me. And I was like, scratch that. You know, I got to figure something else out. But every morning she turned that corner, and every day I saw Christina come around, and every day she would gently invite me. She'd be like, so you going to get started? You going to join me? I'm doing this next program. I'm doing it. And then one day it was July 4th weekend. I remember having to slap on a swimsuit, and I was like, something's got to give. Like, my child was born like the August before, right? And now in July is when I finally said, something's got to give. I need change. And I went straight to Christina, like it's going to happen to you, right? As you go on your journey, I went straight to Christina and said, okay, sign me up. I'm ready. I had hit my rock bottom, and I just wanted change. And that's when I committed. I invested in my program. I invested in my Shakeology. By the way, right now we've got what's called challenge packs, where you can bundle that stuff together and get like a mega discount on it. Back in my era, when it was DVDs and this bag of Shakeology I would buy, there was no bundling, full price for each. And it was upwards of $300 to get started. And I remember putting it on credit card, telling my husband, just trust me, I promise I'm going to do this. I just need this for me, you know, because we were also running on fumes financially. And I put it on credit card, and that was my commitment to myself. I'm like, I'm going to prove that I can do this. I'm going to prove that this was worth it. And the rest is history. I got my first set of results, and like what so often organically happens in this business is that I was filling my cup first as a mom, just wanting to find herself again, and others started noticing. It was contagious. It was oozing out of me. I always say it's like this thing, this vibe you radiate, right? When you're working on yourself, that people are contagious to that, and they want to know more, and they're searching for more. And they may just be that Monica that says, oh, okay, and closes the door and doesn't join you quite yet, right? But I'm telling you, people come around, and my job forevermore, and here I am 9 years later, right? 9 years later, I am still first and foremost, my business revolves around me, my results, my well-being, my mental health, my physical health, right? I fill my cup first before I pour out into my business and all the things that I've done. So that's how I started. And like organically happens. If you don't know, when you first sign up as a coach, you get a discount, right? And for me, it was just about the discount, and that's it. I just wanted to save money on Shakeology. But then when I started getting the questions and people asking and inquiring, and then, hey, I think I'm going to get started with you. And I started to see that there was an income potential. At first, it was I just want to cover the cost of the Shakeology. Because if I could get Johan, my husband, off my back about the shakes that I'm drinking and how it's, it's working, although he believes it, he's like, but do you really need the shake? I'm like, I love the shake. Are you kidding me? So I got him off my back. Then slowly it became like those Target runs where, I'm checking out and I'm walking and getting in the car and I get a text message, what'd you buy in Target? Like, that's how on top of the bills that he'd be like, what are you buying now? You got to tell me before you swipe the card, because we were running on fumes and we were living paycheck to paycheck at that time. And when I noticed, okay, well, this income can now be for my Target runs, right? Grocery, gas, like all the odds and ends, like my nails, like all the things that I like to do, that started to become like this guilt-free thing. I was like, okay, all right. And like that, I started to build like this part-time income, right? Because I started taking it a little bit more serious. I started getting myself a little bit more organized. I started dabbling into coach training, learning how to grow it just a little bit more, right? And I earned that part-time income while, filling some gaps financially in my life. But then there was a turning point, and this happens so often. And sometimes, like you're going to hear from me, Ani, it happens right off the bat coming in. You just have this thing that happens in your life, and you're like, I know where I'm going and I know what I want. For me, I'm telling you that it evolved. But there came a point in my life where I had what I call the aha moment, where I looked at this business in a completely different light. And that's when, by the way, sometimes Beachbody programs and Shakeology work too well that you end up pregnant again. And that's exactly what happened to me. Baby number 3, hello, it's a Beachbody baby, fully and thoroughly through. But I got pregnant with my 3rd child, my daughter Mia. I had a wonderful pregnancy because I was very active during that pregnancy. I mean, literally doing burpees down to 7 months, doing all Beachbody programs, drinking my Shakeology, doing my thing. And I had like this whole idea that I was going to have this postpartum project. As soon as I gave birth to her, I was going to show the world, right? I showed them how to have a healthy pregnancy, an active one, after doing it all wrong the other 2 times. And I was going to show the world 2 things. Number 1, how my postpartum journey, I was going to bounce back. And number 2, how I was going to finally be able to take maternity leave without having to worry, right? Because I had this business that I had already put the wheels into motion. Well, sometimes we have plans, but God has other plans. My daughter Mia was born, and about 3 weeks after she was born, 3 to 4 weeks after she was born, I remember she was a tiny little infant. She would cry, and every time she would cry, one of her eyes would swell up a bit. Right? Now, if you're a mom of multiples, like by kid 1, you're running to the emergency room. Kid number 2, you like pick up the phone and call a pediatrician. Look, like, let me run this by you. Kid number 3, like they're lucky if you feed them, right? They're like literally feeding themselves by kid number 3. But I remember being one night, I saw the baby and I'm like, that's a little off, probably a clogged tear duct. We slept on it. The next morning, woke up again and I'm like, I don't feel right about this. It just didn't feel right. And my intuition told me, call a doctor. Doctor said, bring her in, brought her in that day. And I stepped foot in the doctor's. He took one look at her and he says, Mom, I need you to grab the baby right now, take her to Miami Children's Hospital. You're going to see the specialist, Dr. Duarte. Never forget her name. I need you to take her now because I believe your daughter has what's called a hemangioma. And for those that don't know what a hemangioma is, because I sure as crap did not know what the heck that was. I couldn't even pronounce it in the beginning. It's a tumor, a benign tumor, but a tumor nonetheless that grows. It's very prevalent in infants for the most part. About 80 to 90% of the time, it grows in the exterior of the body and around the facial area. And they just grow really big. They're uncomfortable, but they're not painful or anything to the child. And then by the age of 6 months, the body just like naturally attacks it, goes away, right? But there's that small 10 to 20% of children who 2 things. It grows in the interior of the body, right? Which is much, much more dangerous because you can't track its growth. And number 2, where it starts to now be inside the body and messing with any of the, breathing, sight, hearing type deal. My daughter's was in her eye. It was in her eye and it was intertwined in all of her eye muscles, all of her nerves. In fact, by the time we went in for that first MRI and ultrasound, her eye was slightly out of the socket already, pushed out by this tumor. I'll never forget that moment, them sitting me down and saying, Mom, we have one plan of action, one thing that we know how to do for this. Because unfortunately, at that time that Mia had her hemangioma, there was no true treatment for it. In fact, just 4 years before Mia's hemangioma, there was a young boy who had a hemangioma and a heart defect. And they were giving this young boy a certain drug called propranolol for his heart defect. And they noticed by coincidence that the hemangioma, the tumor, started to shrink with this propranolol. And they're like, this is what our plan of action is for your daughter. We're going to give her this drug and just hope that it shrinks it, because if not, surgery is off the table, will nick her eye. She will go blind in her eye. And if you see my daughter, guys, she's like the only one of 5 grandchildren with these bright blue eyes. And I was like, what is happening? My daughter, you know, I mean, all the feels happening at that moment, scared, fear, you know, anger. And I remember going home and they told me not to Google it, and I Googled it. And then I was like sobbing, but then within like an hour, I'm like, get your shit together. Your daughter needs you. And off we went to do this treatment. I'm not going to make a very long story, long to tell all the details. I'm going to give it to you short. Like I told you, 6 months is when the body attacks it naturally, and then it kind of just goes away. But for those 6 months, guys, I had to go take my daughter to Miami Children's Hospital. They had to administer this drug to her, and I had to keep her there for observation up to 2 hours afterwards, because this drug affected her blood flow, and any kind of trauma to her body, she could easily bleed out, and she was only an infant. So for 6 months, it was having to go to this hospital that was not close to my house. And by this time, I had to forget the maternity leave that I envisioned being home with my child. We were stuck in the hospital most of the time, right? And just full of anxiety and fear and all this stuff. But I had to go back to work. Mama had to make some money. And at that time, I had to have my mom, my sister, my husband, friends even, fill my shoes at these doctor's appointments. And I'll tell you, there's nothing worse than having to speak to your child's doctor through a cell phone, through a speakerphone, from my cubicle. Like having to say, so this is what I saw. Terrible, terrible. That was my aha moment. That was the moment that I looked at this business, and it was like a whole other world for me. I was angry inside. I was angry inside because I had to choose between providing as a mother and being there physically for my child as a mother, right? And God forbid that day be the day that something happened to her and there's an adverse reaction or something happens and I'm not there. Like that's what would go through my head. It was also the same year that when I did go back to work, it was right around time when evaluations were going out and bonuses were being given, and I was declined the bonus because I had been on maternity leave. I did not get my 1% bonus, but still, it was mine, you know? And here I am having a baby and struggling financially, and it was just like this dagger to the heart, and I took that pain and I made it my fire. And that's when I looked at this business in a whole other light. Landed on a call, you know, like this. I would repeatedly hear calls like this. I would repeatedly dig into the training because, like I said, at that time I had a part-time business, and all of a sudden I saw the true potential of what I could do. And I put my head down and I worked my butt off. And I could tell you that in 2013, I was able to retire myself as a paralegal, bring myself home, and year after year since doing that, the vision board had put stuff up on the vision board, including this, you know, summer vacation. And I've just fought for it. And this business has been my vehicle. This business has been my solution to being able to accomplish so many things. So that's my story in a nutshell. And it's, again, I'm still writing my story, right? Every day I'm writing more and more of my story. But I wanted to share it with you guys because that's what's possible for you right now. And I know it's so hard to wrap your brain around that right now, because right now you could be that Monica that's just trying to feel better about herself, right, on day one. And that's completely cool. You're in the right place. But I want you, again, to realize and just listen to the rest of this call, all the things that we're going to share with an open mind, open heart, because whether you're discount Monica, part-time, you know, make a little side gig money, Monica, or you've got that aha fire in your belly right now and something brought you here. This place, you have a place in this. You have a place in our team, and you have a place in this, and Beachbody can serve you and be your solution. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my girl, Amy Alvarello, because tonight we're going to talk about who coaches are, what we do, how we do it, share with you guys all the tools we have, how we earn, and Amy's going to talk about that first half of that meat and potatoes. So take it away, Amy.
What's up, guys? First of all, welcome. Super excited to be here today. My name is Amy Alvarello. I'm a mom of 2. I'm a wife. Sell diamonds during the day, and I've been a Beachbody coach 5 years as a regular coach and 4 years as a working coach. We're gonna get into that in a second. Real quick, I want to share my story.
Oh, did Amy freeze for you? Yeah, she froze for me. Oh wait, I see her
Where
live.
I am now. I started Beachbody. I'm frozen. Can you see fine?
Now
Okay.
you came back. You're good now.
Awesome. Okay, sorry. All right, so let me share a little bit of my story. I've been a coach for 5 years. I was looking for a way to lose weight. I was 70 pounds overweight. I remember that moment when I was laying down in my bed. I was trying to zip up a pair of DKNY 16 stretch. If you're a big girl like me, you know we go for the stretch, okay? And I was trying to zip it up and it wouldn't fit. And sorry if I get emotional, but it was painful. It was painful for me. And I said, you know what? Something has to change. I'm not buying a bigger size. Look at my age. Look where I've gotten. I was weighing 233 pounds. So I started researching. I ran into something called 21 Day Fix. I went ahead. I had no idea what a Beachbody coach was. I was that ignorant person that buys the essential pack on Amazon because I didn't know what a Beachbody coach was. I didn't want to buy a challenge pack. They didn't have challenge packs back then. I didn't want the shake. So I bought the essential pack. I dabbed into a little bit on the nutrition, but I was like, there's no way that 30-minute workouts are going to give me results. So let me just do the nutrition part. And the shakes, I don't drink shakes. So I did that for a little bit. I wasn't getting the results I wanted. One day I said, you know what? Why don't I give this a real shot? Like follow the directions, like do the containers, do the 30-minute workouts, drink the shake. It's 21 days because it wasn't working. And I was like, why is it not working? Because I wasn't doing what it said. So I decided to finally give it 21 days and I lost my first 10 pounds. When I saw that my body I lost the weight. It was changing. It wasn't just losing weight. I was trimming my waist. I said, oh my God, what if I do this again and again and again? And I did for 6 months. And then back then it was DVDs. And then they were announcing 21 Day Fix Extreme. And I jumped all over that baby. And I did 21 Day Fix Extreme. And then I clearly remember it was a December. They had announced Hammer and Chisel. And this was going to be the program that was going to change my life. And I honestly think that part of the reason it did is because I put that belief in that program and I had to invest. I had to invest at the time. I had to get a bench. I had to really prove to my husband that I was going to really stick to this and this was going to work. I went ahead. At that time, it was a white box that they sent you. I put a bow on it and I put it under my Christmas tree because I bought it for myself for Christmas. That was my gift. And I bought myself a bench. And I said, this program is going to change my life. And while it was happening, I didn't realize it. And look, I always say goosebumps don't lie. I'm getting them now. Back then, I didn't realize it. The 8 weeks while it was going on, I didn't realize it. But all through my first year of Beachbody, not only was I just a discount coach, but I had never taken a before picture. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So I take my first before picture. I have the 8 weeks. I have the side by side. And when I realized what I had in my hands, I was sitting in the same bed with that same pain that I felt when I couldn't zip up the pair of jeans. And then the same empowerment and fulfillment that I felt when I realized what I had in my hands. And at the time, I had signed up as a discount coach. My coach wasn't even working the business. Long story short, the way that I felt, I was like, if I keep this to myself, I'm being a selfish bitch. Like, how many Amy's aren't out there? That whole year, I wanted nothing to do with coaching. It was hard enough for me to get my shit together, to lose the 70 pounds, to figure out the containers, to figure out what to eat. I just wanted to worry about myself for that full year. But when I saw what I had, I said, if I don't share this, I'm selfish. And I went to my back office, not knowing how to handle it. I went to my upline and I said, how the hell do I help women do this? And from that moment on, I said, okay, I'm going to work this business. And believe it or not, I realize now that I was more of what we call a little hobby coach. Because what's a hobby coach? Like Monica said, you start getting results, you get the before and after, and you're like, oh my God, I can do this. And then people start noticing and they're like, what are you doing? And you start sharing it. And I thought at the time I was being a business builder. But then I realized that there's a part of us that has to start believing in ourselves when it comes to every aspect. The fitness part, I had gotten the before and after. I'm here trying to help people. People are joining my team. I'm helping people lose weight. But I never really thought that I can make money in this business to where I could actually be home, right? And it's not until the last year and a half. And I think that all of this, like Monica says, it's a process. You start working on yourself. And as you start working on yourself and you start showing up every day, and it starts as simple as writing a meal plan, following directions, doing a 30-minute workout, and logging it in, and maybe reading a little bit of personal development every day. And that starts piling up. And 6 months of doing that, you're strengthening your will, you're strengthening your mind. The things you start believing start to change. The things that you think you're capable of start to change. And in the last year and a half, for me, I feel that that has been the switch in me. And I've become from what we call the, I don't care what anybody's doing, discount coach, I just want my discount, to, okay, I'm going to be a hobby coach and I'm going to pay my groceries, like Monica says, because I pay my groceries and I pay my cell phone bill. And sometimes on good days, I can treat my daughter to her nails, which is awesome. Or we go on a date night and enjoy a good restaurant. But I've gotten to a point where I really believe in my heart that this is the way out for me. Like, it really is. And to know and to feel that it's all wrapped, because I call this, I keep expressing it now as a gift, because I feel it's a gift. It comes in so many layers, and you can take it at your own pace, which is the beauty of it. Anyone can do this. You can be a nurse, whether you're a teacher. You don't necessarily have to want to quit your job, because like I said at the beginning, wasn't about quitting my job for me, but it's a place where the only thing you're going to start doing, guaranteed, is going to be bettering yourself. And at doing that, the things that you're able to do and the things that you believe about yourself are going to start changing. And then what happens is that becomes contagious. And when I tell you what is it exactly that I do, I share my story, so that the 4 years that I've been through, all the pain, all the times that I wanted to not do a program, all the times I messed up the containers, when I left all the mistakes that I made, if I can condensate that and put it in a little place that we call a challenge group or a BOD group or in an app, so that you can have that information first, because I already lived it and I can share my story so you can get there faster. Why the fuck not? That means that everything I went through, my struggle, has a purpose. And the purpose is to connect with someone else so that they can obviously be the best version of themselves and pass it on. So now I'm going to get to the technicality of it, okay? I'm here now, 70 pounds down. I feel there's so many doors opened for me because of coaching. And that's the magic of this thing, that even though it's just coaching, you're opening the door to yourself. You're opening doors to opportunities to yourself, to different things that are going to happen to you, from trips to the community. When people ask me, Amy, I wanted those results, the first thing I tell them is you need to become a coach. Why? Because the community is the glue. The community is what keeps you going. You're going to fall. You're going to go through shit. You're going to party. You're going to have gone on that vacation and come back. And the person that's going to tell you, hey, where are you? Hey, the notification, they're logging in, is the community. That's what makes you jump back in. That's why you need us. All right. I'm going to debunk real quick a couple of little things so that you guys can realize that you are in the right place. Do I have to be at my ideal goal weight? Absolutely not. I wish I would have taken that before picture on day one. Like I said, I spent a whole year comiendo what we call in Cuban tremenda mierda. Because if I would have had that picture that when I first started, I would have already been somewhere else in my business, which is our biggest regret. Why didn't we start sooner? Do I have to be a personal trainer? Absolutely not. Do I have to be a nutritionist? Absolutely not. The only thing you have to do is read English and follow directions. Do I have to be a professional? Absolutely not. We don't like professionals. We like professional party animals in our team. That's about it. Who are we? We're real people that are going through shit, that haven't figured it out, but are willing to share it because we want to use our struggle to help someone else go through it less painlessly, I guess, when I put it that way. Our vital behaviors. We have really small 4 vital behaviors, and that's the compound of the little things that you do every day. And this is the only thing you have to do. If you do these things, these 4 little things every day compound, you're going to see It just happens. It just happens. Proof the product works. It's basic. We show up every day, get results for ourselves, for our challengers and our coaches. We obviously do that by showing up, by inviting. We want to definitely connect with people, let them know that we understand where they're coming from, invite them to our groups. Thankfully, you guys would be part of a team that has an amazing upline. We're constantly doing things as a team. When it comes to Battle of the Badasses, you're going to be part of a team that has an amazing team culture. Not because I'm a member, but we definitely do. And one of the things that I think people, and I myself, wasn't a real big fan of was personal development. And I realized in the last year that that's key. So one of the vital behaviors that we do is work on ourselves for at least 10 minutes every day of a little bit of personal development. The tools that we have that you can use, we have the best streaming service money can buy. I like to break it down to $2 a week because that's exactly what it is. When I was in quarantine and I found out people were spending $150 in CrossFit a month, I almost had a heart attack. Hello. Best streaming service money can buy. We have bod groups now, which is a brand new platform where everything is synchronized. You actually can have track your nutrition through there. You can keep track of your coaches, your Shakeology. We have the Diesel Nation Academy, which is an amazing link. It's constantly being updated. If you ever have any questions on the business or on posting, any question that you may have when it comes to the business, you're going to find it in the Diesel Nation Academy. We have our coach online office, which is great, which is the way that we can work off this baby, because the only thing you need for this business is this Wi-Fi and a dream. And we have a share cart, which is one of the best options. I'm sure you guys have. If you haven't gotten one yet, you will be getting one soon. And it's a great option because basically you can send your customer exactly what they need. They don't need to be working or looking out through websites. It's not confusing, and you're set to go. The last thing I wanted to say is two things. One, you can fit this into your schedule. That's the best part about this business. We teach you how to work it in pockets of time. There's times where you're eating shit and you're scrolling and you're doing crap. Instead of doing that, you can be doing something positive. You can be making a little bit of money. And we teach you how to do all those things. And the last thing I wanted to say was that the best thing about this business is that you decide how fast you want to go, where do you want to take it, and who do you want to take with you. If you can take the people that you love with you on this journey and you want to go far, beautiful things can happen. And the worst thing that can happen is you're probably be in the best shape of your life. So that's my presentation.
Yes, way to go, Amy. Thank you for that. What a concise way to share what coaches do, how we do it, the tools that we have at our fingertips to help others, ourselves and others. Perfect, perfection. All right, I'm going to talk about how coaches earn. And I'm such a visual girl, so I've got a PowerPoint for you guys. This is the elephant in the room. All right, I get it. I can do this. I get it. I can do the workouts. I can inspire the next person. Now, how exactly do I earn? Oh, the many ways, I like to say. All right, first let's talk about the business fundamentals, right? The core of the business, the foundational piece of what you're doing here. Number one, your results matter, right? And Amy just talked about that. Your physical, emotional, mental results are the foundation of your business forevermore. 9 years, here I am 9 years later, and I still wake up every morning, push play, drink my Shakeology, and do my personal development. Your why matters, and I'm gonna let Niani really take you home on this, right? But determining what your internal and personal reason for wanting more for your family is everything, right? You could say, I like helping people, or I want, like Amy said, I want to give this gift to the next person, but there's still a deep innate, by the way, she didn't share, but the hashtag between her and I is hashtag carpool lane on the brain, because she envisions the day that she could pick up her kids from carpool and not have to send them at home on a bus or walking home from school. So that deep innate why that you hold on to as you work through this business. Your goals matter, your business goals, the fact that they are non-negotiable to you, right? This is the business foundation. And lastly, your personal development. Your income will be a direct reflection of the personal growth. We all come into this with kind of like a glass ceiling above us. And that glass ceiling is the things that we haven't uncovered in ourselves yet, that we haven't tapped into yet. And through personal development, you will break through glass ceiling after glass ceiling after glass ceiling. And you will see yourself grow into this business, right? The Monica that signed up 9 years ago is not the same Monica that you see before you today. And that's because this business helped me grow through it through personal development and all the trainings and stuff that I've learned along the way. But right here, these 4 things, are the pillars of your business. Now, there's 3 main ways to earn. Now, let's talk about like the X and O's of how to earn. I'm sorry, not 3, 4. Four main ways to earn. Number 1, commission-based business. This is the income that probably most of you guys know about or could have figured out for yourself. It's retail commission. When you help someone get started with anything that we have to offer in Beachbody, whether it's Beachbody On Demand workouts, whether it's Shakeology, whether it's a challenge pack, whether it's collagen, whether it's beach bars, whatever, you earn anywhere between 25 to 30% commission. 25 if it's just a single item, and 30% commission if it's a challenge pack or a completion pack. Let me give you a real behind the scenes info on this, because I think that this is why I love Beachbody and I'm so proud to be partnering with a company like them. They developed challenge packs. Remember I told you that Dinosaur Ages with me, they didn't exist, but they developed them because they knew as a company, they were willing to take a hit up front, meaning they would bundle together what they know works, that if someone comes in and does not cut any corners, doesn't say to themselves, well, I'm going to drink the shake, but I'm not going to do the workouts because, I don't like to sweat. Or I'm going to do these workouts till I'm blue in the face, but I'm going to eat and consume whatever I want because, I'm working out. We know that it's all components are equally as important and vital. And so by bundling them together, we can get people to come in and not cut any corners and do this thing right and achieve the maximum results, because we know it works if you do. We will give the customer a big old discount, right, up front. So we're going to give the customer some money to keep. And behind the scenes, as coaches, we get 30% commission, not just 25, but 30% commission. So we're also going to pay out more to the coach that inspired this person to get started right, with all the tools, not cutting any corners. Think about that deal right now. As Beachbody as a company, they come out losing in the front end of that deal. But you know why they did it? Because they know that if they get people started like that, it is long-term. It is a lifestyle change that occurs. It is something that has longevity, and people stick around because they're getting results and it's fitting into their life. And so commission-based business, 30% when you get somebody started with all the tools, the total solution with challenge packs and completion packs. Now, there's also residual income, right? This is like the income they say, like the me plus we income, or the income that you earn as you sleep. Now this income is based upon the team that you start creating, coaches that join your team. So right now you're on this call. When you decide to sign up and join our team, you are joining your sponsor's team, right? And now we work on a binary system. By the way, not to be confused with a pyramid scheme. Binary is in the shape of a pyramid. And people are like, is that one of those pyramid scheme things? Pyramid schemes are illegal, so this is not that. But yes, we do work on a binary system where there's a left leg and a right leg. But think of it like traditional corporate settings. You've got the CEO on top, you've got the managers come on the bottom, and then it continues to branch off, and you have all the employees, right? And all the subsets of the company. Same concept. You come in, you are the CEO of your company. And as you start to build, you start to develop and train and manage managers, right? And then there's leaders, and then leaders pop up and leaders. And it starts to grow exponentially. Same concept. But residual income comes from that growing team now of coaches getting out there, your army. And I always say no to the one-man army. A lot of times people want to come in and they just want to work, commission-based business. Well, I'm just going to get out there and help people get started, and I'm just going to earn my commission off retail, and that's it. Well, I'm going to say to you that if you want to earn, I don't know, let's throw a number out there. Let's say $1,000 a month in this business, right? And you will do that through retail commission. You're going to have to become this machine, a selling machine, which I don't know about you, but that was one of my biggest things. I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell to people. I loved Beachbody because it enabled me to work on my story. Like I said, fill my cup first, share my journey, and inspire the next person. And as I brought in people to help, right, when I got them started, I had enough brain power, and I was able to manage a business where I was really digging my heels into helping people get started right? Like this, it's not quantity, but quality that was coming into my business. And that's the way Beachbody is set up, because your goal coming in is going to be helping 3 people a month. That's your baseline coming in, 3 people a month. I can grab a hold of 3 people and lead them through a program, get them started right in nutrition, get them on their Shakeology, answer their questions, do all the things. And then next month, wash, rinse, and repeat, right? And I do that because then I start to build lifers that become coaches, and then I have the income coming in on the residual end. See how that works out? That's why I love this business, because it was never about quantity. It was about quality of my business and getting out there and helping people and building an army of lifers, right? I'm not a one-man army. I have a tribe of women that are in this with me, and we are lifers. So me plus we income is what we call residual income. By the way, you start achieving this once you hit the rank of Emerald, which is the very first rank when you come into the business. Now, matching bonuses. Now this is when you become a leader of leaders, right? Matching bonuses means that when people on your team start earning their own residual income, you also get 10% of that, 10% matching bonus of that income. So, for example, Amy Alberto. She's been with me. She is well into earning her residual income week to week. Girlfriend earns her residual, and me as her sponsor, because I'm a leader of leaders like Amy, I earn 10% of all of Amy's residual income. Doesn't come out of her. It's just Beachbody pays out that bonus, right? And what's beautiful about that is there's absolutely no cap on the matching bonuses, and that's a really big deal. The next one is quarterly bonuses, the last one. Quarterly bonuses are every quarter of the year. This is a rank-based bonus that you can earn, right? It starts at the level of 2-star diamond, that's the one that Amy's fighting for now, to be able to franchise herself and open up Amy 2.0, we call it. But quarterly bonuses bring in at 2-star, at 5-star, at 10-star, and at 15 superstar diamond status is what we call it, right? Can I tell you guys that this bonus ranges anywhere between $1,000 each quarter to $50,000 each quarter, depending on which rank. Because when you achieve, for example, 10, you don't just get the 10 bonus, you get the 10, 5, and 2. And that's just, for me, that was one of the things that made my heart pitter patter, because today I get to make the call whether I get a bonus. And I always revert back to that day that I was told I did not get a bonus. They were declining to give me my bonus because I was on maternity leave. Today, I get to make that call. And in this business, you will get to make that call. How hard you work your business and where you take your team to will then create your bonuses that you make the call. Isn't that cool? I think that's super cool. The girl boss in me is like, yes, I'm taking control of my life. All right, so how do we grow income in Beachbody, right? Well, like I told you a second ago, you come in and we're gonna give you this healthy, super can wrap your brain around goal of helping 3 or more people a month. 3. Right? That we have a built-in a system where it tracks your foundational activity, and it's called Success Club. And when you help these people, you get what we call Success Club points. And that's the first thing that you can focus on when you come in and say, okay, Success Club, that's one of my goals I'm going to check off, because that's going to be the foundation of my business, is going to compound month to month. There's also, when you start building your team and earning your team cycle bonuses, right? So as you start signing coaches onto your team, which will be on a call just like this, that we'll continuously, by the way, we host these once a month. So you have them to also invite people to every single month that we help explain the business and help you grow your team. And also another really cool part as you build your team, remember how I told you Emerald, you get residual income? Well, another big perk of becoming an Emerald is that you get leads. I want you guys to know that we are the only multi-level marketing company out there who the leads generated from, let's say, Instagram, from the trainers, from infomercials, from YouTube videos, from links that are clicked on Facebook, all the funnels that come into Beachbody does not keep those customers. You know what they do? Those customers, they churn out and spit it out to the coaching network. That's me. That's you. That can be you. And the way that you show Beachbody that you've got skin in the game, that you're out there helping people, and that you're on your way to building a business, is by achieving Emerald, the first rank. By the way, Emerald is getting 2 people to join your team, and bam, you're an Emerald. It's really not that hard. And you open yourself up to leads, free leads from the funnel systems that Beachbody has put in millions upon millions of dollars into advertising, getting the, marketing out there and all that kind of stuff, brand recognition, and getting the leads come into your business, right? And then lastly, keep going. Treat your business like a business, which is my next slide. Treat this business like a business and it will pay like a business. Before I pass it back over to Miani so you guys can hear from her, I'm going to share one last thing with you. I was raised by a mom who Miani knows her. My mom is, through and through businesswoman. I've watched her build business after business growing up. I've seen my mom literally build businesses like her preschools with her bare hands, laying tile, painting, building toys and stuff and equipment. And then I've seen her do it, later on in her life with other businesses where she was able to like kind of take a step back and build it from afar. And I can tell you that my mom's taught me a lot. And I understood that it was going to take, it took her a lot of money up front to start a business, right? Her preschool, she would tell me upwards of $100,000 just to get it started. On a traditional business setting, you see you make back the money of the investment that you put in, right? To get that business started. It takes a fantastically well-built, beautifully succeeding business about 4 years to see that to be able to repay that debt that it took to open that business. And when I think of Beachbody, right? A business like this, what it took me to get started, it took me literally $0 because I signed up because I had bought, Shakeology and my workout program. So my sign up ended up actually becoming free, right? Like it will be for you as well. We'll cover that in a second. But I recognized the earning potential. And because I recognized it, and I saw that with one sale, well, 2 sales. One will pay my Shakeology because I was consuming my Shakeology. And then after that, it was all in the plus. I was right off the bat making money, right? Because I was not indebted into this money that I was investing into this business. When I understood the earning potential, that's when I was like I can run with this, right? Like I saw my mom have to for 4 years claw through a business to make sure that it was worth it. But here's the other thing, what happens so easily is that people will easily, just because it took nothing to start it, takes a lot of people nothing to walk away from it, right? Especially when it gets hard. Because anything good gets hard. I gotta say that. It's supposed to be hard. If not, everybody would do it. There's gonna be hard times. So that's why you lean into your personal development. So you lean into your team. That's why you understand that you're growing in this. Like I understood I was growing into this. If you treat this business like a business, it will pay like a business. And it can change your life like a true business, right? But you gotta lean in. And you got to put skin in the game. And I know you can do it because something tells me that all of you guys sitting on this call or still on this call with us, you need this and want this. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it on over to my girl, Miani. You there, Miani?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing also. So Miani joined our team about 6 weeks ago, right? 6 weeks ago. And we were actually on a mastermind call and we had this little homework assignment where we were going to all drop our whys. And Miani dropped hers and everyone was like, whoa, because I kind of knew, but I didn't exactly know the fire behind her business and her mental plan that she had come in, the mindset that she had coming in. So I wanted you guys to hear it tonight. I wanted her to share with you and kind of give you a take of someone that comes in 1 month in, right? Not chapter 9, not chapter 5 like Amy, but literally 6 weeks into this business and share a little bit about her story. So Miani, take it away.
Thank you for that introduction. Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning because like Monica says, we've known each other for many years. And I will tell you this, I was an athlete my whole entire life. And I was known for my amazing body because I played so many sports. I was a swimmer, I played softball, all these great things. But somehow I will tell you that as I got older and became a mom, I started losing myself and going through a lot of mommy guilt. And in that time, I ended up not feeling myself. I wasn't what I typically was. And I had lost I disconnected from who I was. So obviously knowing Monica for so many years, I would see her and I would see what she was about. And I see this is my friend that we used to hang out together every weekend. And she was on another level. She was so focused and so driven. And I was seeing those results that she was I was like, oh my gosh, she looks amazing, like all the time. So with that, I ended up joining her many years ago. And it was about 2013, I think it was. And I ended up joining her because of something. I had decided to renew my vows with my husband. And I said, I'm going to do what Monica's doing because I really want to get into it. I want to look good for the first time in a wedding dress, because my first time around, I didn't look very appealing, I would say. I didn't get to buy my dream dress. So the second time, I wanted to buy my dream dress. And so I gave Beachbody a chance, and I had amazing results. Back then, I was doing T25 and Les Mills Combat. That's how way back it was. And I saw amazing results. But I also became, like, I was just dabbling, just doing what I needed to do. I was just worrying about myself and nothing else. So right now, I'm a police officer. And for many years, for 11 years, I was a teacher. And during that time, my son has a learning disability. So I was forced to take him out of public school setting and put him in the private sector. With that being said, I ended up having to take a big pay cut in order to have him be at the school and go teach over there. So I was doing the best I can. We were surviving, we were floating. But as a child with special needs, he needed the extra tutoring, he needs extra this. And I was feeling like there's no way, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing I can do here to help him. So much to a point where I ended up having to take him out of this program that I brought him there for, because I could not afford it. And that to me was heart-wrenching. Like, I brought him here for that, because I needed him to be in this special program. And yet I brought him here, and now I have to pull back because we're struggling that much. So I decided that I would have a career change. I was miserable at my job because of financial reasons. I was probably in the worst shape I have ever been in my life. I was about 210, 212 pounds. And misery was just oozing out of me. And I remember thinking, I can't do this anymore. So the opportunity came up, and I decided to change my career. And I said, I'm going to become a police officer. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm in the worst shape of my life. I'm in big trouble. I got 6 months of boot camp coming. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do what I know works. So immediately I went back to Beachbody. I started doing my videos, and I try to do the most intense, crazy thing I can think of, plus running in between to try to get myself somewhat ready for this boot camp that was going to come. I'll tell you what, thank goodness for what I did in those 3 to 4 months before, because I was like all the time dying, but at least I was not at 212 pounds. I had already lost weight, and my endurance had come back. So I was like still in the back of the line, but I was at least running. I wasn't stopping. That's what mattered. So I did it, and I got through it, and I did things I never thought I could do. I mean, when I tell you that the academy took me to places where I thought I would break, and it taught me that no, it's all about your mind. Your mind will do what you tell it will do. And I learned that very hard way, but I learned it. So at one point, the academy finished like the whole physical part, and they told us, you go on and you continue doing your physical part. We were doing a lot of other things. And I said to myself, I can't. At that point, guys, I was only in September, and I had already lost 37 pounds doing all of this, between that and then the other 29 that I had lost with getting ready for boot camp. So I was like at 40 something pounds at that point. And I said, I can't stop this. There's no way. This would have all been in vain. Like, I cannot. And then something happened. They brought me my uniform. And I remember looking at myself in my uniform, I'm like, oh my God, this is the most non-appealing thing to wear every day of my life. And I refused to look like a roly-poly, because I swear to you, that's what I thought I looked like, a roly-poly. And I said, nope, this is not happening to me. I'm going to stick to this. And I stuck to it. I remember doing the 100-day meltdown, because I was like, Monica, what am I going to do next? I need to stay with something. And I ended up doing 100-day meltdown. And I felt for once that I had finally come full circle. I graduated from the police academy. I was top scoring in my test for the state. and everything was coming around. I was making a lot more money as a police officer. So I'm like, okay. And then now my son has to go back to this program and the program's price goes up. So I start panicking again, naturally. I'm like, I got to do something. And I remember that 2 or 3 days before that, I worked at a high school, and as a police officer, we have crazy calls. And I was patrolling in the traffic, dismissal on Biscayne Boulevard, and they call me over the radio. Officer Skenazi, we need the officers here. When I get there, I had to run about a mile and a little bit more to get back to my school. Full gear, 2:30 in the afternoon, hot sun, and I had to run upstairs where like 10 girls were fighting. I'm pulling people off and all of this craziness. And I remember finally when everybody calmed down and everything happened, I stopped, and I was not huffing. I was not puffing. I had created a fitness level in me that saved me that day. I saved that girl. I saved whatever could have happened. It could have been any case scenario. But that day, I remember coming home, and I remember even video blogging it in Instagram. And I remember talking about how it was the first time ever I had run in full uniform. And I felt like I was okay. And I got teary-eyed and I cried because I said, this no longer for me is about, oh, I want to fit into my bikini. This is about, I have to come home to my babies. All you guys have babies at school. I got to make sure that when they're at school, I'm going to be ready to take whatever comes my way. And that's how I took it, that it is part of my job to stay fit for my kids, for your kids, for everybody else's kids. And that is with the pride that I take in what I'm doing right now. Now, that is why everything has shifted for me. Like I said before, my son's school tells me, okay, we can get him in the program, but it's going to be this much more. And I remember telling my husband, like, finally, we have a breather. I'm making more money. And now we're going to go back to negative. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got it up, un pasito para adelante, un pasito para atrás, like, oh my gosh. So I said, no. Everybody has been asking me, hey, Miani, what are you doing? I mean, I see these videos and I see this and I see you're doing this and you've kept it off. And I remember saying, how can I not tap into this? How can I'm feeling so good and I've given myself a new life, a new breath of fresh air. How can I not help somebody else? So I also began with, okay, like Monica would tell me, help 3, help 3, help 3. And I was like, yeah, because I can't be a bigger financial burden. I have to help 3 because that way Nikki is not screaming at me about, we can't be spending that money right now. But so I told him, look, let's make a deal. I'm going to help more than 3. I'm going to make my goal to pay for Nicholas's program. And he goes, I think that's amazing. I had his support from the beginning because obviously he likes having a wife that looks good in a bathing suit. Hello. And he likes having a wife that's not going to be giving him extra expenses. It's a plus plus. It's a win-win for them no matter what. So he goes, all right, let's do it. Well, I can tell you this much, guys. I can tell you that today, I told Monica right before we got on this call, me and Nick did the numbers and I was able to get together all the money I need for registration by myself without taking one penny from my husband's account, from our family's groceries, from our bills, all $900 and something or whatever the heck it adds up to. I did it by myself. And that is my why, because it's for my babies, and how can I not be the best version of myself for them, for my job, it's a win-win any way you look at it. And I will continue to do this, and I will continue to make myself accountable. The other component of this is because obviously I talked about how I up and down, and Monica loves, she can validate me 100%. I am by nature a wild, fun time party animal. Like Amy says, you have to be fun to be in this group. But I am the biggest flake you will ever meet in your life. I have 1,000 ideas, everything's super fun, and then I'm like, oh, this is too much. Never mind. Who listens to me? Why didn't anybody stop me with these bad ideas? So I always become a flake by nature. Not because I want to, but because I just bite sometimes more than I can chew. And that couldn't be a reason to stop this time. Like I could not let my flakiness, that sounds so bad. I couldn't let my flakiness be the reason why I don't do this that's so important to me. And having this accountability, like helping people, I have to show up for them. Because how can they validate anything that I say if I am not practicing what I preach? Super corny, but whatever. It's super true. So I know that I have to show up. Those days that I am like hurting, I show up. But I show up to show everybody you can, because I know what it's like to be in the police academy and be sweating and saying, I'm gonna quit, and then thinking about my babies at home. No, I can't quit for them. I can't walk through that door sweaty and muddy like this saying I quit. I can't. So how can I quit? I've learned now that quitting is not an option. So my mindset is my body and my mind, and I can do so much more than I ever imagined. So all of this culminated in like a year of my life, and the last month and a half have been epic for me. And just more affirmation that this is something that I will do for life, because it helps me be my best version. It helps people be their best version. There's nothing better than getting that text or from somebody say, oh my gosh, I just lost 7 pounds. You're like, are you kidding me? You want to throw a party for them. You want to go hug them or something, you know, in the middle of Corona. Of course, I do this in the middle of coronavirus. I can't go hug anybody. I can't go celebrate, you know, but this is my truth. And this is something that I never thought would move so many people. I mean, everybody in my family is on board. And I remember they used to look at me like, oh, she's there. Look at her jumping again. And one more thing that I'm going to add, you have to make this important to yourself. I made this promise to myself and to my babies that I would come home every day from work. And I got a lot of resistance, not from my husband, but from the exterior family. They're going to be like, oh, a lot of resistance. Because like Monica says, when you're doing something good, you know, you always have the devil there and that always the negativity. And you got to learn to have that self-control. And my family would come in because I'm a typical Cuban family. They walk through the door whenever they want. You know, they come in. And I remember that once upon a time, they would walk in and I was about to work out. And I'd be like, hi, mom. Hi, dad, whatever. And I remember that I would start entertaining them, turn off my workout. And then when they leave, I feel so disappointed in myself. It was the worst feeling because I'm like, there I go. I lost another day. That's not an option in my house anymore. Everybody knows that I come first. I made promises to myself. So if I can keep a promise to my mom, to my kids, to my neighbor, that I promised her I would do something, how can I not keep a promise to myself? What am I showing my kids? That you are not important? That you should flake on yourself? You know, I want to stop that cycle. And my family now knows. They walk through the house and they see me jumping in the backyard. They're like, bueno, 30 minutes, apúrate, and they wait for me. But they know I will not stop for anything in the world. I will not. So it's just about how do you look at things? What is your perspective on it? Is it that important for you? No conversation I can have with anybody is going to be worth my 30 minutes of making myself feel like I am keeping my promise to myself. So that's my story and that's my why. And
I feel like crying. I'm so proud of you.
No, because I cry when I haven't even been looking down at Amy because she cries a lot. So I'm not even looking. I'm like this.
I'm gonna cry because I can attest that you're such a flake. No, I'm kidding. She's like one of my oldest, dearest friends. No, but what I've gotten to see from you, Miani, and the way that you've just like come into this, and why the why is so strong, the vision is so strong, and you know what you want, and you've never been someone afraid of hard work ever. It's just you've reinvigorated my belief in this, right? So. By the way, what?
You unflaked me.
I unflaked you. And by the way, you look damn hot in that uniform. Every time I see it, any recognition I do for
me, I'm such a sucker for uniforms.
I'm a sucker for uniforms.
Every time I talk to her and I'm in uniform, I'm like, hey. She's like,
you want to FaceTime? I'm so proud of you, my friend. And man, seeing what you've done in the last 6 weeks, the future is bright. So a true testament to coming in with a why. So we say all the time, a why so deep it makes you cry. Like that's what it takes. And it's okay to take that selfish moment and think about what you need right now. Like Miani said, like telling her the simple thing of telling her family, I need to do me right now so that I could be better for you. Like that's everything. And that is okay. And that's what I love about what we do is that we give the permission to do that. and the setting and the environment and the tribe and the support and all the things to do that so that you can be your absolute best version. I love you, friend. I'm so proud of you. All right, let's got this call out. We got 8 minutes and I will hit the goal time of wrapping up this call. Let me share with you guys how you can join our team. How to sign up. So there's 2 people on this call right now. The person that has not started a workout program, not kicked off their journey, just hearing about Beachbody now, but they're super intrigued and they want to get started, and you're looking at purchasing your challenge pack. Remember we talked about that challenge pack, total solution, everything you need to get started? Well, good news is if you purchase a challenge pack and sign up as a coach simultaneously, the business starter fee of $40 is waived. $0. Your sign up is free. Now, if you're a person right now in a challenge group right now, completely crushing it, loving Shakeology, getting your results, probably have people asking you already, and you ask your coach, hey, what's this coaching thing? Because I want to learn more about it, and that's how you landed here. Well, worry not. You will still get your coach sign up free, but the process will be kind of different. You're going to sign up as a coach. You're going to pay the $40 up front, and then your coach is going to send you an online form right afterwards. You're going to fill out that online form, giving what date you purchased your challenge pack and whatnot. Once they validate it, you will get that $40 reimbursed to your bank account within 24 hours, making it 100% free as well to sign up as a coach. No brainer. Now, can you sign up as a coach and pay the $40 and that's it? You sure can. Except I do not recommend it because, again, I think we're beating a dead horse here. You come first. Your story, your journey is the pillars of your business, right? It's the foundation of your house that you're building right now, and it's important. So coming in and just paying a fee to become a coach, but yet not, getting started on your own journey, not working on yourself and from the inside out with Shakeology and personal development and your workouts and whatnot. I just don't see the point in that, right? Okay. Now, what can you expect when you join our team? Well, number 1, you'll be invited to our private team page on Facebook, right? This is like your lifeline to the business, your lifeline to me, to your coach, to the entire team. You'll also, in there, will have access to the No Snooze Crew, which is our virtual gym. Amy Alvarado is actually the founder of our No Snooze Crew, and it has exploded in the last year. We're all like, yeah, No Snooze Crew, because we all love that stuff. We wake up every morning, or actually any time of the day, you could plug in there, or you go into that Facebook page and be like, hey, I'm working out in 30 minutes. Anybody want to join me? And you jump on this virtual Zoom link, and you'll find people on there working at the same time. And it's just this added accountability. You meet so many great people, and I'm telling you, it's an absolute game changer. So you also have access to that through our private team page. You'll as well have access to our new coach training academy. Now, you will, when you sign up as a coach, get a generic email from Beachbody, and they'll have some coach training on there. However, the dinosaurs like me in the business, my upline Christina Delgado, her sister Becky Brisse, and a lot of other coaches, what we did is we gathered everything we've learned throughout the years and we condensed it into a training that we call Diesel Nation New Coach Academy, right? And this gives you like the straight shot what you need to know now to get your business off the ground. So you're going to also have access to that team exclusive academy, right? And that's how you can hit the ground running. It is self-paced training. So you decide if you will complete it in 1 day, 1 week, or if it takes you a whole year to get through New Coach Academy, so be it. It's okay, because like Amy touched on, this business, the beauty of it is that it's at your pace. It is at what you want, right? When I came into this, it was about Monica just wanting to feel better, and that was okay with my coach. And as I grew into this business, she was just there to mentor me through what I wanted for my business, because I am the CEO. Same here. So depending on how fast you want to go, your new coach training is the first place to start, and off you go, right? So this is it, guys. This is like the job interview that you go to where I don't decide if you get the job. Miani and Naomi don't decide if you get the job. You decide if you want the job. You decide if you want to be announced as the next coach on Diesel Core. We are a heck lot of fun. We work hard. But we know how to play harder. Somehow we play harder. But you know what? We love hardest. You are joining a big old family. I absolutely love what we represent. We are a through and through girl gang. You're going to get support in all levels: business, financial, fitness-wise, like all the things. You are joining a giant family. And we cannot wait to announce you as Diesel Corps' newest coach. Any questions you have about tonight, any gaps that we could fill, or any clarification, drop it below this call, or tag your sponsor, or plug into that same page that you were on and drop a post, and we'll be there to answer it. But that's it, guys. We wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Miani and Amy, you are sensational. You are amazing. I am so blessed to be in this with you. Love everyone. Have a fabulous night. Bye.